Hey, it's Jessie. Today on the show, you know her from Days of Our Lives, The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Melrose Place, and The Traitors. It's Lisa Rinna.
I was just like, just don't look like Ramona Singer on the on the runway. My girl said, Mom, whatever you do, don't look like Ramona. So I have that in my mind.
Right.
Don't look like Ramona. Don't have googly eyes.
This is Dinners on Me, and I'm your host, Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
So today we're at the Coral Tree Cafe in Brentwood, California. Coral Tree is a bit of an LA institution. It's been here forever. It's known for its all-day breakfasts and paninis and salads, great coffee. So I thought this would be a great place to meet up with Lisa Rinna and talk all things housewives and traitors, and also her new memoir that she just wrote that I got an advance copy of. I have so many questions for her, and I wanted to curl up in a corner with her, have a cup of coffee, maybe a cup of hot tea, because I'm gonna get the tea and the hot goss. All right, let's get to the conversation. First of all, we have so many things to talk about.
Yeah.
When you were asked to do The Traitors, was it like an immediate yes? You already watched it?
No, I hadn't watched it yet.
Okay.
And I said, well, let me watch it and see, because I didn't want to do any reality. I was like, I'm not doing any more reality.
You were done.
It was done for now.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, it doesn't really sound interesting to me. And then I started to watch it with Harry. We started to watch it, and I thought, wow, this is really good, but I'd rather watch it than do it.
Yeah.
Right? People kept talking, and then my neighbor down the street, who grew up with my daughters, little 27-year-old, called me and said, you got to do this show, and I'm going to tell you why. And I said, well, let me come down, I'll have a glass of wine, and we'll chit-chat, you tell me why. And she convinced me to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my team was so happy because they were like, oh, this is just a game changer. It's going to be so great for you. And I was like, blah, 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 whatever. And then it turned out to be a good thing.
It's pretty great.
Turned out to be great for me.
Were you surprised that you were a traitor, or did you expect it?
Yes, I was surprised, but I also kind of expected it. It could have gone either way. I wanted to be a traitor.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do it, you want all the camera time. Otherwise, why?
Sure.
Why not, So
that's what I talked about with Colton. I was like, you have another 3 hours of a work day because you have to do the whole turret.
So hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I was suffering like you can't believe, because you're not sleeping, and I have to sleep, and you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to where I was, episode 7, I was so ready to go home, to be honest with you. Oh my God. I was just like, I didn't fight that hard because I was like, I can't save myself at this point.
Right. No, you really got backed into a corner.
I couldn't.
You got backed into a corner.
Left.
So, right. Okay. So, yeah. One of the only times, I think probably the only time this has happened, was someone got murdered in front of everyone, and someone got last words. He got last words. That's never happened. And he said, it's Lisa, it's Lisa.
I knew it right then and there. I was like, no matter what I say, it doesn't matter, because that's not how I killed him, by the way, right?
Right. You killed him because he touched your amulet. He says you killed him by kissing him.
Yeah. But I was fucked. The minute he was screaming my name,
you're like, I'm done.
I was like, this is really great television, but I'm done. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I can't get out of this. I knew that.
And Colton was onto you very early on.
Yes, he was.
Which, he was right.
He was.
And obviously you felt a different way in the moment, and you were like, this snake in the grass, we got to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And yet he outlasted you.
Barely.
Yeah, barely, I know.
Hey guys,
Hi.
how are you?
Good.
You guys have the breakfast ready, so I'm going to give you a lunch.
Oh, perfect.
So we actually order and eat.
We do.
I'm going to take your drink order first.
Okay, great.
If you want to just let me know what you want to drink, I'll get that started.
I would have an iced tea with some stevia.
Okay.
Iced tea with some stevia.
I'm going to do iced tea without stevia.
Okay.
And do you want to take a moment to figure out what you want to eat, or do you know?
You guys can take a moment.
A quick one. Let's see. Something easy to eat.
No, I want it complicated.
Yeah.
Prawns. I want to watch you eat prawns.
I'm gonna have a steak salad.
Steak salad.
Well done steak, or medium well done steak. No pink.
Okay.
There you go.
And I'm going to have the curried chicken salad.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm excited. But in the moment, you were pretty you were annoyed that he was.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a great nemesis for me, and I've told him that.
Yeah.
To his face.
Yeah.
I've said that. You want that. You need that. Otherwise,
What are we doing?
it's just not interesting. For me, it's a game.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
take it personally.
Yeah.
I never did. So, yes, I can be mad at Rob and like play the game of I'm so mad at you and I spanked him but it's a game. Like it's not Housewives.
Yeah.
For me.
Right, where it got
Which
personal.
was personal. That was personal.
Right. Yeah.
And that was really challenging. So when Colton came at me like, you're supposed to be a housewife and you're not like a housewife, I was like, excuse me, hold on a second. We're going to have a chat.
I mean, that was the fireest you got on this show.
It was.
And, I also just read your book, which thank you or someone sent this to me. Fantastic. I
Thank
loved
you.
it. But,
Quick.
you talk about, it's a quick read, but a very interesting read.
Right? Cool.
10 chapters, 10 juicy chapters. But having read that, and we've talked briefly because we're friendly.
Yes.
We're friends.
I've been to your
And
house.
You went to my son's baby shower.
I went to your son's baby shower. That's right, I did, which was by far the best baby shower I've ever been to, by the way.
Thank you.
It was.
So yeah, we know each other, and so having read your book, and even just from the private conversations we've had, I know how hard Housewife was for you.
Yeah.
I didn't know some of the stuff that you were going through
At the time.
at your hardest moments.
Yeah.
Which it was so. I hope it felt very. I hope it felt very cleansing to get a lot of that stuff out in the open.
It was very cathartic for me to write this book and to just tell my side of the story,
Yeah.
to tell what was going on with me and how I felt about it, because there was so much speculation at that time. And imagine then grieving your mother's death in public. Like the whole thing was just a really bad perfect storm.
Right,
It was just really unfortunate. In hindsight, it would have been better if I'd said, guys, listen, I'm going to take this season off. I'm just going to
after your mother passed.
take a break.
Yeah.
Because, I went back to work 3 days later.
Yeah.
You're in shock. You don't know what you're doing. And in hindsight, if I just said, you know what, let me take this time. If I can come back, great. If not, I'll come back next season. But I'm a worker bee. I don't think like that. I'm like, I have a contract. I got to go to work.
Right.
So would have been better if I didn't do the show in that state of mind.
Do you think they would have responded?
No, not kindly. They would have said, no, you have a contract and we'll sue you if you don't come to work.
Right. Well, they might have.
No, they needed me.
Yeah.
I also knew that they needed me on the show at this point, so it was not going to be like, oh, sure, sweetie, go take your time.
Yeah.
It was hard. That
And
was
you-
difficult.
And you were a consumer of the Housewives before you.
Never.
Before you
no,
watched.
I never watched it. I was aware of it,
Yeah.
but
Well, we all are, yeah.
This was before really social media and everything when I got on the show. It was just starting. So, different time. It's
Yeah.
a totally different time. And during those first, say, 5 years on the show, it was manageable because the zeitgeist and the fan base hadn't become so angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what changed, is the response to us changed, and that made it really difficult. Which you're just like, wait, it's a TV show and we're playing a game, but, luckily, I'm on the good side of this. Usually I'm on the bad side, but I have great empathy for the people that are on the bad side of it because I've been through it. And that's why I came out about Colton, because I didn't want him to necessarily go through what I went through or for me to have anything to do with it.
Right. Right.
So I thought it was important to say, we're fine.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're okay. So it's a game, and people are just crazed about this show. Like, I haven't really been out in the world that much, but I am right now, and people just want to talk to me about it.
Yeah.
They just, I was just getting something at Creation. They were just like, I feel this, and I want to know about this, and
Yes.
it's just so funny to me.
Well, it's fun to also peel the curtain behind that show because, you're in this castle in Scotland. Like, we want to know everything about that. How does it feel being on another reality show now that's so zeitgeisty, having done, the part of the Housewives franchise? And, And in this way, in this version, you are playing a role. Literally, they're saying you're the
I'm
role of a traitor.
Right. Right.
And kind of also getting to act out
And kill
misbehave
people.
misbehave and kill people.
I loved it. Every second of it. I mean, you see when we kill Caroline Stanbury, I put my soap opera hat on. Like, that was just delicious. I put that hat on and I was just like, it was so fun.
Yeah.
I loved being a traitor.
Yeah.
I wasn't a very good traitor, but I
think you were until you got backed into a corner.
I wasn't great. I was entertaining, but I wasn't strategic, I think, like Rob. Rob and Candace are very, very much more game players, I think, than I was. But I think it was a fun mix of all of us. I loved us all as traitors, and I thought that's why it was so sad, because it was like, he broke up the family. Oh.
I know. I mean, in other seasons of the Traitors, that has happened where the Traitors turn on each other, and
it happens every season.
It makes it exciting.
It does, and you can kind of tell. Like, we all lasted 7 episodes.
Yeah.
In all the other seasons, Traitors have already gone by that point.
Yeah.
So I also think that production is like, okay, you know what? It's also time for maybe a recruitment or just to mix it up. And, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
They don't produce you at all. They really let that game play out.
Which is the opposite with Housewives.
Which
From
is
what
complete opposite.
I understand.
I was so shocked by it because in reality, that's what I'm used to. The producers produce you and they talk to you.
They plant seeds, they plant stories and
all day
storylines,
long.
and
These producers stay back.
Yeah.
And the game plays out, and it's quite brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that part of it.
Well, you all have a common goal, too. It's like you're working toward the same thing.
Yes, exactly.
You're not on your own little islands trying to spin whatever story is happening on your own islands. You're working together as a group to create this thing together. And it feels like very much like an ensemble piece, whether or not, and you are playing against one another.
Would you ever do it?
I would. I told Colton I would. I think I would. Although I don't know. This is what I'm observing. I find that people who are actors or funny people don't do great.
Well, and why do you think that is?
I think that it's hard to crack through, and I think people don't trust it. They think you're acting, and I think people use humor as a shield.
Yes.
And I think that when people are being funny, like Ron, who's a very funny person.
Very funny.
He didn't fare well.
Yeah. Yes, it translated differently.
Yeah.
I think for Ron, I got along great with Ron. We had an Oregon connection, so he was brought up in Salem, and I was brought up in Medford. So we instantly had that, and so I think that was helpful for us because Ron is very much a loner, and so I think that being a loner in that game doesn't serve you because you have to really figure out alliances, and you really have to be like, I knew going in, my job was to be like a hostess and get to know everybody and get everybody to really kind of like you. That was really kind of the only thing I thought was important. You really had to be a hostess and chat with everybody. Yeah.
You did a really good job. And I mean, you're also, people sometimes forget because you've been doing reality TV for so long. You're a really good actress.
Thank you.
And so, and I noticed that specifically in the breakfast scenes where, you know who's going to walk in the door, and you were doing a great job.
Thank you.
I think you really played that role well.
I thought so too. I thought I did everything well until I didn't. It's so funny because, everybody's like a backseat driver, and they say, well, if you'd only done this, and if you'd only done that. And you're like, God, if I had even thought of that, didn't even cross my mind.
I know. And when you're in the moment, your mind is in another place. Are you watching The Traitors?
Of course.
Okay. So you are watching it in time and like seeing like, oh.
Well, because we hadn't seen it.
Right.
So you do it, and then now you're watching it, so you see the editing.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of editing. We spend hours and hours and hours and hours filming that doesn't end up.
Probably whole storylines and whole relationships that don't get
included. I think Kristen has come out and said that her whole relationship with Mark is non-existent. And, you know, you don't even see that in the castle while you're working. You only see what you see. So I didn't even know they had a close relationship. I didn't know Rob was going and pushing my name. Like, you don't know that if you're not in that room.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of good poker face going on as I was leaving. But, you know, if you're an intuitive person, you sense it.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew Rob was not looking at me. You can always tell by body language and the eyes. And I kept making sure that I looked everyone straight in the eye. That's what I made sure of, because as a traitor, you might not. You might be more careful. I looked everyone straight in the eye. Like, I sat next to Colton the whole time, and, you know, he's after me the whole time, and every time I look at him, I would look him right in those baby blues, and I was like, I ain't moving here. I'm going to just go like that. So there's a lot of things I did do that I think worked, and then other things you're just like, wow, they didn't even really show something that could have helped you, and you're just like, nothing you can do about it because it's gone.
Right. Well, and there's only so much time for the show to, you know, be on TV.
And there's 20 some odd people.
Exactly. A lot of coverage.
Yeah.
You don't strike me. You've never struck me as someone who's like intimidated by anyone. But was there someone that you're like a little intimidated by when you're in this sort of game set?
You know who I was intimidated by the first night you get there? Natalie from Survivor.
Oh yeah, no, she seems like she was very intimidating.
When I first saw her, like, I kind of picked up a vibe, and I thought, oh shit, she scares me. And then it turns out I love her. She's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
But her energy, I clocked.
Because she was so serious. Like, she was a gamer.
She's a gamer.
Yeah.
I didn't know her. I don't know the gamers. And she was just, like, I couldn't read her. You know, I know a lot of the other people.
Yeah.
Or of them.
Yeah.
I just couldn't read her, so it was more murky for me.
Interesting.
Yeah, she's the only one. I gravitated toward Rob the Snake Charmer because
we all gravitated toward Rob the Snake Charmer. He charmed all of us.
He did. But in the moment, I didn't know who he was, and I saw him being very aloof and sitting off to the side while everybody else was kikiing and having a great time. And my husband has similar energy, so I thought, I'm going to go talk to him. So I went over and just started asking him questions and kind of just getting to know him in a way. So I felt super comfortable with him because I'd had that moment with him the first night. Mm-hmm. And we had somewhat of a connection because I just had a conversation with him. I mean, sometimes it's just that much.
Yeah.
You have 5 minutes with somebody and you go, all right. And other times I don't talk to many of the people.
Right. It's exhausting.
It's really a lot. And then when you're a traitor, it's like, forget it. Like, you're never not working.
Yeah.
Really. So careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
If you want to be a traitor, honey, you are, I mean, literally 3 hours more a day.
Yeah.
Into the middle of the night.
Yeah. That's what Colton was saying. Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. When I started this podcast, I ran into you at the Sportsman's Lodge. Do you remember this? We were both getting vitamin shots.
At Next Health.
Yeah.
I still go get my vitamin shots there.
I do too.
I added glutathione.
Okay,
so I do Super B and glutathione.
Okay.
That's my new.
That's your cocktail.
That's my new cocktail.
Okay, got it. Have you ever done the hyperbaric oxygen chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that red light bed.
The red light bed. Yep. It's all good.
I like it there.
I do the cryotherapy as well. Do you do cryotherapy?
I hate cryotherapy.
Okay. Yeah.
Hate it personally. I hate it. Probably good for me, but I hate it. So
I like it. But I ran into you at the Sportsman's Lodge, and I think had just recorded this, like the first episode of this.
Oh yes.
And you were like, don't ask me to be on it. I cannot. I hadn't asked you at that point, but you're like, don't ask me to be on it. I can't do podcasts. I always get myself into trouble on podcasts.
It's true. I didn't do podcasts for 5 years.
Yeah.
While I was on Housewives because I made a pact with myself. Every time I did a podcast, I got myself in that much more hot water. So I said, I'm not doing it anymore. And I took 5 years off. This is the first time back.
Yeah.
Truly. Because I was like, not worth it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I feel like at that point you had already left the show, though, when I saw you.
Yes.
You must have. Okay. And when I saw you most recently, we were both leaving Terry. I was coming and you were leaving Terry Hatcher's
Christmas party.
Which
is such a great party.
Oh my God, so great.
Such a great party.
There's a great video of you and Kathy Griffin
dancing with Terry.
And Terry Hatcher dancing.
You did it right out of the gate. They were like, Lisa, we need to do a dance video. I was like, okay, pick a song.
Also, Ron Futchkis was at that party.
He was.
Did you talk to him
Yeah,
there?
of course. I've run into Ron a few times outside the Traitor world.
Okay.
Which is fun. And then we just were part of this First Amendment group with Jane Fonda.
Yes, I watched that.
And they just had us do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ron and I've seen Ron at a couple of things.
Yeah, he's great.
He's even met Harry
Oh, I
somewhere
love that.
down the line. Thank you.
But when I saw you at Leaving Terry Hatcher's, you were like, I've written a book, I've got it all out of my system, and I'm going to come and do the
your
podcast.
And here I am.
Now, I know this is not your first book you've written, but it seems like probably your most personal.
Well, it's more like a memoir. I don't really call it a memoir, but they do because it's like bullet points in my life. It's not my whole life, but it's much more vulnerable and revealing than any book I've ever done. And I knew that if I was going to do another book, I had to go there.
Well,
otherwise, why write the book?
Especially after Housewives, people, Joanna, my producer right here, is such a massive Housewife fan.
Are you, Joanna?
Oh my God, she devoured your book. And I was like, Joanna, this book is for you.
Yeah. Did you like it? Good.
But, I mean, after you've left this franchise that so many people know you from, I mean, you were already a household name, but I feel like so many new people, your fame was never at the level it was.
And Harry talks about that.
Yeah.
He's like, you were never more famous than when that show like catapulted you. It did.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about that show, you
Right.
know. I knew that at the time in my career, I needed that real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I did it, because I knew it was really high visibility and could help with business.
Yeah.
And I needed a win.
What I've gathered from your book that I didn't necessarily know, I mean, I assumed you were a hustler, but you really were a hustler. And you continue to be. I mean, we're all hustlers in this industry. But I wrote this down because I was like, let me go through this 1 year. Like, this is like what... In 2012, you were hustling.
Yeah.
I'm going to remind you what you were doing in 2012.
Remind me. What was I doing?
An infomercial for... So the dates might be a little bit...
All right, I won't hold you to it.
An infomercial for FlexBelt.
Yeah.
A Taco Bell commercial. The Depends, you were a Depends spokesperson, which I remember that so
Big
well.
Depends commercial, which just freaked everybody out.
It was so good.
I was just talking about with Howie Mandel on his podcast.
Yeah. I mean, it's sort of iconic.
It
was
is
you
iconic.
on the red carpet
And I
interviewing
have them
people
on
in Depends.
in my Hervé Leger tight dress with my damn diaper on. It's true.
So good. Well, I mean, those days are long. Those days are long on the red carpet, too. I could use Depends. You also had a collection of QVC.
Yeah.
And you were, I can't read this. Oh, you wrote your first book. Or you wrote, not your first book, but
My second
you wrote
one,
the
maybe,
big,
or-
fun,
yeah.
sexy sex book.
Yeah, third
So, I mean,
one.
that was all 1 year. And,
Yeah,
you're a hustler.
I am.
I didn't realize that you had these 2 stores that you were...
For 10 years.
For 10 years.
We were in retail for 10 years.
That's incredible.
I know. It really, we have done some things that are truly remarkable being actors.
Yeah.
We're 2 actors
Yeah.
that were like, we better do something here because neither one of us had a hit show. And you got to figure it out. We got 2 babies we're raising.
Yeah.
Get to work. And that's really where it comes from.
Well, what was interesting is when you're trying to talk Harry into, opening up his mind to maybe you being in part of the Housewives
And
cast.
he was like, no.
And then you kind of gave him the Bethany Frankel receipts.
I did.
You're like, look at what this woman has done. And he's like, okay, well, let's rethink it.
We call her the tequila lady now. We don't use her name.
Are you friendly with her or no?
We don't use her name.
You don't use her name.
We call her the tequila lady.
That moment for Harry of realizing that this could be something of a franchise
He's a smart
for you.
guy.
And you could parlay this into other things.
Yes.
I don't know. And I think you did. You did a really good job with that while you were on the show.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It was great until it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a lot of things, You're on a show for 8 years. How long was Modern Family?
11.
Oh, how
I know.
I mean, that's just
I know.
dreamy beyond,
No.
right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a big part of your life. And so leaving it, you have a lot of emotions about it.
Yeah.
Whether you want to leave or not,
Yeah.
it's something you did for 8 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It's a really long time.
Yeah. So it was good until it wasn't, and I'm grateful for it because I think everything that you do in life leads you further on your path.
Yeah.
If I can get all googly about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just part of my story.
Yeah, and it sounds like you've maintained some relationships from
Absolutely.
it that are very meaningful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
made some really good trauma-bonded moments with friends. We were all trauma-bonded. I mean,
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah,
And I still have those girls as friends, absolutely.
yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah. What did your daughters think of first of all, what did they think of your time on the Housewives and also on the Traitors?
Well, Housewives, they were so young. They were teenagers at the time, and they really just don't remember that much of it, I think. But they just didn't want to film. I remember that, and I would have to bribe them to film. 'Cause of course, they would want the kids, and I would be like,
Right.
okay, I'll buy you this. You just come film for like 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
So they don't really talk about that, but they are loving Traitors. They're loving this. They love the show. I got a text from Amelia, because everyone's watching it at different times. I get this text that just says RHOBH with a bunch of exclamation marks. So I was like, okay, she just watched the episode. So it's cute. Everybody watches it. Harry had watched it before. I was in Paris walking a show, which was so cool, the night I got banished. So I hadn't seen it because it was on at like 4 a.m, right?
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning, I was like, watch it, and then please text me and just give me an idea of like, will I be happy? Was it horrible? Whatever. And I got a really great text message from Harry, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm fine.
That it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you came off great. It was fun. It was fun to watch you get banished.
Great.
It was fun to watch you get backed into a corner.
Yeah.
And
try to
fight. You were
figure
a
it out.
rat chewing its way out from like
Yep.
a corner, and
Yeah.
it was
And I never got
really
out.
satisfying.
I could never get out.
I mean, but that also must have felt really cool, Lisa, to be like, you couldn't watch that episode because you were on a runway in Paris. And I mean, you talk a little bit in the book about Pam Anderson and Demi Moore and like these people who are over 50, these women who are over 50 who are having such a renaissance right now. I loved a few weeks ago, you went to some red carpet event, and in sort of tribute of Pam Anderson, you didn't wear any makeup.
That's right.
And you look fantastic.
Thank you.
But I love how you were uplifting these women who are having this whole other, moment in their career.
And they've all been through it.
They've been
all
through it.
been through the fire. Like, these are survivors, these women.
Yeah.
Not only are they having this, renaissance,
Yeah.
they are survivors that have come out of the flames.
Yeah.
I am so in awe of that. Nicole Kidman, you can keep naming all these women in their late 50s, early 60s, having these great moments for women. I think it's so important for my daughters to see that you're not washed up when you turn 60 years old. Like, you can still be a viable female in this world. And I think it's really important to not stop growing and learning and shining. And I think it's super important, and part of my job, I think, to show women you can still have fun, have joy, you can dance, you can be silly, you can be weird, you can be beautiful, you can be everything.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like it's part of what I'm here for.
Yeah. I mean, do you get emotional, like, being on a runway in Paris?
Oh my God,
because,
yes.
I mean, you started your career, obviously, as a model, but, like, this doesn't happen
No.
for really people
That
after
are
a certain age.
62 years old? Hello? Like,
There's-
what?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's truly
There's an
remarkable.
expiration date on what people
Women.
consider that career to be.
In Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, when I turned 40, that's when we started the stores, because I thought my career was over. I was acting at the time, and I thought, well, if we don't figure something out, because I'm not going to be working.
Right.
But now look at it 22 years later and go, wow, I would never have seen this moment then. Like, I could never have envisioned it or dreamt it. So that's what's cool.
Yeah. Something I didn't think of, but of course it kind of makes sense, and because you always look so fabulous on Housewives, but you really peel the curtain back in your book, and you talk about how so many designers don't want to dress people on the Housewives because they don't want to get wrapped up into any negative storylines or press. And so all of those things you were wearing were things that you had to pay for or beg for, or I don't know.
Or whatever,
Yeah.
rent if
Rent.
some people rent it, I don't know. But yeah, as actors, we're used to having our hair and makeup done and a stylist do our clothes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That was the biggest shock for me. To do the show and they're like, well, you have to do your own hair and makeup and you have to dress yourself. And I was like, oh shit. And that's where all my money went. Because you
Right.
just spend all your money on that.
Yeah. Because you have to look a certain way.
And then you want to look a certain way.
Sure.
And then there's like a bar, and if you don't meet it, you look
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it was a very big eye opener, and I have a lot of great shoes and clothes from that time. You come in my closet, and you're like, "Damn, girl, that's where the money went, right there,
Yeah.
like, gone."
Yeah. I really, I mean, so many people love it, but I really love yours and Harry's love story.
It's pretty
And
amazing. We've been together for 33
for
years.
so
It's a long
long.
time. I know.
And you were so young.
29.
And, and you talk beautifully about it in your book, working at that sunglass store and meeting Harry and you were hustling then, like, waitressing and
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't made it yet as an actor.
was this before or after Hogan's
That's a good question.
what was the show, Hogan's Heroes?
Hogan's Family.
Yeah, Hogan's Family.
Right?
Yeah, with Jason
right
Bateman.
At the same time.
Yeah.
So I worked with Bateman, I don't remember how many episodes I did, to be honest, but right during that time, and then I got Days of Our Lives. So I had already done Hogan's during that time, but then I'm on unemployment.
It's really fun to watch you in that because it's you with long hair.
So wild.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like a baby. I'm 26, long hair. Jason's only 21.
Wow.
And I learned so much from him. I mean, you know how talented he is.
Yeah.
I learned so much, and he was 21 years old.
Yeah.
That was a great time. And do you know, it turns out he's my neighbor now.
No way, really?
He literally lives down the street. Yeah, so full circle, moment. Anyway, yeah, I was collecting unemployment. My friend owned the eyeglass store, so he's paying me cash.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do, right?
Okay, we got to do.
And then I got Days of Our Lives, and then I stopped working at the eyeglass store.
Yeah. What do you think you're gonna do now? What is like? Do you want to take a break?
No. I mean, I'll take a break when I'm dead, That's
Yeah.
the way I look at it. We can act. The great news is we can do this career as long as we want.
Yeah.
I think. You really can. I would like to act again. I really
Yeah.
would like to do a great series. That would be fun. I mean, that would be my number one. But I'm also open to the universe and what it brings because I might not be right. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want something that isn't really what I'm supposed to be doing. So I also like to stay open because 3 years ago I could never have written that I would be sitting front row at couture shows in Paris. So you got to
Yeah.
stay open to that stuff.
How do you think you manifested that?
I didn't at all. Usually, because I'm a pretty good manifester and I can really set my mind to something, that came out of the blue. I did not expect that, not for 1 second. I mean, fashion's always in my, it's always here, but it wasn't like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. That was a phone call that came right after I left Housewives because there was a lot of press, so
Yeah.
people were seeing me a lot. And my publicist called and said, do you think you could go to Paris in 4 days? Kenzo wants to fly you there. They'll put you up at the George Cinq. I was like, yeah. I just said, absolutely. And that's how it began. And I just kept saying yes while I was there. People would see that I was there, and they would invite me to another show, and I just kept going to the
Yeah.
different shows.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I like this. This is fun. So 3 years later, I walked couture for this young designer named Kevin Germanier, and it was so thrilling. It was just a trip and a half because, there's so much pressure. You want to do well for them. Like, I'm opening the show. Not that I'm just in it. I open the damn thing. No pressure.
Yeah. You don't want to fuck it up.
You don't want to fuck it up. It's his baby. It's his creation. It's his dream. So, luckily, I didn't fuck it up. I looked okay. I was smooth. I didn't embarrass my daughters. That was another thing I was like, oh my God.
Were they in the
They weren't there,
audience?
but everybody knew I was doing it. And,
Yeah.
they're both models, and my youngest is a very big model.
Yes.
And I thought, shit, I cannot embarrass this family. I cannot put shame on the family.
Yeah.
So I had all that going on in my mind. I was just like, just don't look like Ramona Singer on the on the runway. My girl said, Mom, whatever you do, don't look like Ramona. So I have that in my mind.
Right.
Don't look like Ramona. Don't have googly eyes. So I got through it, and it was really exciting. I didn't fuck it up, and he seemed very happy, Kevin.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Something that really struck me in your book. I mean, you are so open about so many things.
I know, it scares me.
Are you nervous for people to read some of it?
Yeah, because it's so vulnerable. I don't like to be vulnerable. Like, who does, right? It's so painful, but I knew if I wrote this book, I had to.
Yeah.
But am I scared?
When you say the stuff that you're vulnerable about, are you talking about the stuff with your family? Or
Everything.
About stuff with your
you name
housewives?
it. Anything I'm open and vulnerable and honest about is terrifying.
Had you, and if you don't want to talk about it, if we don't want this to be a part of the podcast, we could just be like, let's not talk about that. But had you ever talked about your daughters suffering from pandas before, or?
No. I tried to talk about it on the show because, we were open. It was right in our lives.
Yeah.
So it was really very powerful.
Right, they want stuff about your lives, but then also on their terms.
They all
maybe.
want it on their terms.
Okay.
If she'd had an eating disorder, it would have made the show. Mm-hmm. So we were going through that at the time, and it was really, really, really difficult because nobody really knew what it was. And so, no, I haven't talked about it, and I'm glad that I get to because I also know families that are suffering.
Yeah.
And so anytime I can get out what really is going on and what was going on, that I felt very good about saying.
Yeah.
That was a great moment to have.
I mean, I'm a newish father, 5.5 and 3-year-old, and I mean, when your kids are in any sort of pain, it is just.
It was rough for 10 years.
It cuts right through the heart.
It was brutal.
And,
It does.
I mean, you talk about how Harry would have to sit outside of her classroom because she would be having panic attacks.
Yeah.
And what really struck me, and this was what I think I really related to, because I have 2 kids, there are those moments where you have to focus on the one who needs your help. You have to put the mask on the one who needs your help.
Exactly.
And you have this other kid who you also don't want them to feel neglected.
But they do.
And they do.
Because you can't help that.
Yeah.
And we talk a lot about it, We've discussed it very openly, and Amelia's been very open about how she felt because the attention was all on Delilah. Oh. And luckily we have as I'm sure you do too, we're very fortunate to have great people to help us. And my mom and dad were really super helpful. And, we have somebody who's been with Harry since, I think, 36 years, Lorena, who was there and was able to have Amelia come and stay with her at her house during some times. And so you make it work, but it's never easy. Parenting is really the hardest thing there is.
Yeah. But that's the stuff, I mean, I'm so grateful you wrote this book because I think sometimes with celebrity or people that we see on television, specifically in reality TV, you put them on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And
I think we put all actors on pedestals.
Yeah, but I think with reality stars, you do, and not to say that you're a reality star because you're so many things, but you lived a big chunk of your life on a reality TV show. And I feel this way with Colton too. You encapsulate them in this version of that you have in your head.
That's right.
And seeing the humanity, you're also a mother who was going through this with her child. You're also, and I'm sure it affected, your relationship with Harry and how do we deal with this as a couple. And the fact that you've been so honest with that, I just feel like it's really, really remarkable. And it really makes it makes the world feel smaller. And these people who you think, okay, they're nothing like me.
Right.
You're like, oh yeah, there are threads of commonality here.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was really, really lovely.
Oh, good. Well, we're human, and I think it's super important to show your humanity.
Yeah.
As where I am in my life right now, I think it's really important for people to hear that it's not easy to be married for all these years. It's not easy to raise a family anywhere, let alone Hollywood, California. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that you don't know what's behind the curtain. You don't know, as you say, you know, when you see people, you don't know what they're dealing with in their lives. And I think it's important to share that.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was important to share all of that.
Yeah. When does the book actually come out?
February 24th.
Oh my God.
So a couple weeks. Well, this sure was fun.
This was fun.
I'm glad we got to finally do it.
Thank you for saying yes to this.
Of course.
I'm glad that...
I'm only saying yes to my people that I like. And otherwise, I'm like, nope, not doing it.
Yeah, well, I'm thrilled that we're buddies. I'm thrilled that you love me. I
love
adore you.
And I love your husband.
Isn't he great?
I love your husband.
I know, he's pretty great.
I
feel
really-
very lucky.
yeah, I love him.
We both married really good
We
ones.
married good men,
yeah,
good
I
humans.
hope that we have as long of a run as you two.
Me too.
I know.
You just got to work on it, you know?
We do.
If you need to go to therapy, you go to therapy. If you have issues you can't get through, you just got to do it. It's not cute all the time.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's not cute all the time.
No, it's not. But we do work on it, and you're
Good.
right. It's harder than you think it's going to be.
Well, yeah, because life gets difficult.
Yeah.
And you can start to grow apart, and then you got to make sure that you come back together. It's work.
Yeah.
Marriage, a good marriage is a lot of work.
I agree.
So just do that. Keep doing that and respect. You know, as long as you have a mutual respect for one another, I think is really the key. Like the minute you start to devalue one another, that's when you got to go to therapy and stop that. Because it's easy, resentment builds up. And you could be like mad from 20 years ago and not even know it.
Yeah.
So you got to catch that shit.
Good advice.
Yeah.
This has been Therapy with Lisa Rinna.
Good. Therapy with Lisa Rinna. We can go have a cigarette now. It's almost like sex with Lisa Rinna. Have a cigarette.
I adore you. Thanks for doing
I
this.
adore you. Thank you.
This episode of Dinners on Me was recorded at Coral Tree Cafe in Brentwood, California. Next week on Dinners on Me, you know her from Bridesmaids, Reno 911, The Goldbergs, and currently as Hospital Administrator Joyce on St. Denis Medical. It's Wendy McLendon Covey. We get into her improv days, the surprise side hustle she kept until The Goldbergs, and the possibility of a cameo by me on St. Denis. One can only hope.